The work in our videos is carried out by an expert. All explanations, as well as executions, are only a recommendation of the providers.
So at the boot of the screen, this is the main page we have here. The screen is divided in two, where on the bottom we have the quick recall menu, for which we can select the main cooking programs, memorize them, and once we click, we can also press the start button and start the machine. As well, on the bottom side, we do have manual program setup, cooking programs library, and multi-level settings. So this screen moves and slides on the left, on the right, as well as on the top. Actually, moving from the bottom, manual programs and manual setup is divided in simplified and advanced. Simplified allow the user to set time, temperature, humidity, and fan speed in one single step. We cannot to select the core probe level use. And it's just a single step. On advanced, we can choose up to 9 different phases, and we can also choose either to cook with the time or core probe, or eventually core probe and delta T. So advanced provide 9 phases and different cooking possibility, while on the simplified, just by time and one single step. On simplified settings, once we enter, we choose our time, as for example, 22 minutes, 175 degrees Celsius. Steam, we wanted to have some little moisture in the cooking chamber, 20%, and fan speed number 4. On the top of here, we have a menu for which we can apply for preheating. So the oven will automatically preheat the cooking chamber more 40 degrees, plus 40 degrees compared to our cooking program. And holding. Holding means that at the end of the cooking process, the oven drops down the temperature to 65 degrees Celsius to maintain the food warm. In this case, we will activate the preheating. 22 minutes, 175 and 20% humidity for fan speed. The fan speed can be adjusted in constant fan speed, turning clockwise and anti-clockwise every 2 minutes, or semi-static fan speed, for which the fan is still turning clockwise and anti-clockwise every 2 minutes, but when reaching the set point of 175, the fan will shut down. Once the temperature drops down some little below 175, the fan will start again. So it's a start and stop functionality. It makes a lot of functionality, a lot of sense when running in one fan speed, baking process and delicate pastry. Let's keep again 4 fan speed. We have been activating the preheating in the menu. Press OK. Press OK. The product starts with the preheating in process. We can fit our tray right after the preheating. Once we close the door, automatically the unit will resume from our cooking process. So now really the time started. 22 minutes, 175 degrees Celsius, steam and fan speed we selected. The point is, the preheating increased the temperature up above 40 degrees Celsius, because when opening the door and loading the food, we loses about 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. So we normally then start by 175. Okay. In advanced mode, when clicking on it, we can more than this, simplify the program, add number of phases, up to 9 phases. For example, we can cook our own chicken by selecting the first 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, leaving some moisture and leaving in a 5 fan speed. We can add the second phase automatically, for which we add extra 20 minutes. In this case, we will do an increase of temperature up to 200 degrees Celsius. And still keeping some moisture, 10 to 20%, 5 fan speed, adding another phase again with extra 20 minutes. In this case, going again up 20 degrees, so 220. 10% of humidity again, 5 speed. Last phases, 15 minutes, 240 degrees Celsius. And then again, 0% humidity in order to dry the food. Once we press OK, all of our phases will be displayed automatically to the screen. We can even change each single data according to our preference directly on the screen once we confirm all data. Going back, in this case we have set phases number 4, up to 9 phases available. On the top of here we have a menu for which we can activate the preheating, plus 40 degrees above our 180 degrees Celsius cooking, holding, dropping down the temperature to 65 once the program is done. And I can also postpone my own cooking program about to a maximum of 12 hours. This option is available only in advanced mode. In this case, I can postpone the starting of my machine for a maximum of 12 hours. For right now, we leave it on 0. We activate the preheating and even the holding. Press OK. Press OK again. Oven starts. All data can be changed even when the machine is cooking. In case of our oily fingers and we don't want to use the touchscreen with our hands, we can recall each single parameters by using the scroller. As for example, we can use the scroller and press on it just to select each parameter, clicking and adjusting. In this case, we are going to adjust the 15 minutes, 220 degrees Celsius for grilling our meat. Each movement corresponds to one single data. I want to make my grill super dry, so 0% humidity, and adjust even the fan speed accordingly. Now recall the V just by still turning clockwise or anti-clockwise. Click again, and then by turning and clicking again, we can start the machines without touch the screen. On the recipes book, by clicking on it, we can have my own recipes book underlined over here on the green, which is actually empty, or we can have the memorized library. All of them are divided in each category. So these cooking programs we were quickly displaying over here are all listed in a single category over here. Right then. For example, we want to recall hamburger, just click on hamburger and press start. This is the preset cooking program which I can even adjust according to my choice. For example, I would like to choose 220 degrees Celsius instead of 230. Same in the library book. I have my own cooking programs which I can memorize, and now we were gonna do a program and we will save it. Simplified mode. Once we choose the temperature of the time of 15 or 16 minutes, 15 minutes, 180 degrees Celsius, 20% humidity, 5 speed, and we according to this we want to proceed. On top of that we have a star. By clicking on the star, we can then apply for our photos, and we can even save a name on our cooking programs. Cooking programs. Alright. By applying the photos, we need to use a USB port visible under there. Back to the screen again. Once we want to confirm cooking program as a name, press OK. In which category we would like to save our cooking program. So let's say we would like to do it in bakery. Press OK. And now our own programs is displayed with the default pictures in the bakery library. Because the quick recall menu on the top can display both preset programs and my own programs, then I can just scroll now left and right to get each of them. Cooking program is also now available on my own chef recipes in a bakery. I wanted to use it, just click OK and start. If I prefer to delete the program, just get back in library, chef's recipes, click on the 4 dots available over here. Recall the program, delete. Do you want to delete? Yes. Back to the screen. I just have my own preset programs without any arrows to move right and left. As well as on my own chef's recipes, I don't have any more recipes. On multi-level, once we choose multi-level programs, we can select the temperature, which will be equal to all of the products we are going to fit inside the machine. For example, 170 degrees Celsius, 60% of steam, and a very low fan speed. In this case, by pressing OK, then the machine will run in the first fan speed, and we have to choose what time we wanted to select before each single tray will be extracted. For example, we have now 7 trays available. On the trays number 1, we will add some potatoes. On the tray number 2, we will add some rice. On the tray number 3, we will add some carrots. This is just a very examples. Press OK. Now each timers are be displayed on the screen, reminding me to remove each individual tray at the time I prefer. So at the moment, we need to wait about 30 minutes for the second trays, about 2 minutes for the one tray, for the first tray, and the 3 minutes about on the tray number 3. So now we are going to wait some little. You can see the countdown now coming. So the multi-level is mostly for removing the food in a different way. Now the system is asking to remove the tray number 1. By opening the door, removing the tray number 1 and closing the door, automatically tray number level number 1 is disappear, remaining just a tray number 2 and tray number 3.
Yes.
The lower side of the screen, as well as the top one, can also have a slide on the left having more icons. In this case, we're having accessories, washing system, eco, normal and intensive, whereas the eco is 44 minutes, the normal is 1 hour and 80 minutes, intensive and 1 hour and 52 minutes, rinse is just 10 minutes including rinse and drying, and P is concerning just the sucking of the liquid into the piping for the first 2 minutes. Currently, when running a washing cycle, the cycle predicts the oven to take detergent, use the water, to dry and to switch off automatically. So whenever we start the washing cycle, we cannot wait for the washing to be completed, but we can leave. Once we start any cycle, for example the rinse, for a quick rinse, it says temperature too high. In this case, we need to drop down the temperature below 90 degrees Celsius before the washing starts. Double tap on the screen, get back, cooling, and opening the door to drop down the real temperature 162 to 90. In this case, the fan starts with door open. Below 40 degrees Celsius, automatically the cooling process stops. The 40 degrees Celsius, the cooling program stops until the cooking chamber is completely cold and it can be touched by hand. Still on accessories, washing cycles, rinse. In this case the machine is cold, so we can apply for the start, and the rinse program starts. It predicts the light, application of water through the top rotor arm, and steams from the back of the fans. I can stop the rinse programs at any time by pressing stop. Eventually, if I will enable start one of the washing cycle, for example eco, and I prefer to stop it, in this case automatically the rinse program will start, and I have to wait 10 minutes before all the soap and detergent will be rinsed down. On technical assistance, we will find a few icons: HUD management, protected by password, ask GGM Gastro for informations, and expo mode, ask GGM Gastro for informations, because they will enter on it. On settings, we do have screen brightness adjustment, date and time. We will adjust it right now. 12 o'clock. Language, which could be selected between 42 different languages. Increase or decrease the tone thanks to an extra buzzer kit, optional. In this case, the toggle will need to be activated. Import and export all cooking programs, or just a single programs, through the USB port underneath. HACCP logo. Once it's activated, the oven will memorize inside the screen all information about the cooking and washings and alarms, which has been done since the moment we confirm. Whenever we wanted to download some information from the USB, we need to tap the icon of the stick, but it says the USB stick is not being installed. So we need to be fit an empty USB. Wi-Fi helps the machine to be connected on internet and receive automatically software updates from GGM. Actually, the unit is scanning for networks. It will take a while. Once the network has been found, the quality of the network is displayed on the side. Once you click on the office, on the network you are looking for, just press OK and tap the password as a mobile phone. Info version display the software versions of the unit.